Welcome back to your daily dose of keeping it real about being out here in the Philippines. If I say something to make you mad or piss you off in any kind of way, I want you to know that I was not trying to do that on a personal level. But if I do, hey man, holler at me in the comment section so we can talk about this like men. Today I'm riding around on my e-bike, so the video should be a little bit smoother. I hope so anyway. And I decided to take you guys with me while I go to Dali and give me a couple items for the house and stuff like that in the Palenque. And hope you guys enjoy watching the small little view that I'm giving you while I talk about what I'm getting ready to talk about. So today I was watching YouTube like everybody else does, and I ran into this guy that goes by the name of Chad to Dad. And I'm pretty sure you guys heard the story so far, so I decided to put my spin on this. But obviously he's going through a TikTok divorce. And he brought his wife to the States after marrying her in the Philippines. And now he claims after 2 years of marriage, she wants a divorce out of the blue, like just for no reason she wants a divorce. Apparently he brought her family, her mother and father, to the States, for the holidays. And they went to Magic Kingdom in Disney World. And after 6 days on the trip, she decided to pull the plug. She had enough of him. And then he got home, and out of the blue, she slapped him with, "I want a divorce, I want to separate." And he doesn't know where, he act like he don't know where it came from, He also claims that she's been planning this separation with the support of her family and her mother and father for a long time. And not only that, she's planning to take the kids away from him and bring them to the Philippines. Man, there's a lot of red flags in here. All right. And one of his videos, he claimed that she may not love him. She may not want him, but she needs him. And that's the basis for love. Red flag, 100%, because it sets him up for failure. Not to mention that it was reported in her words, and these are her words, that he was verbally, physically, mentally abusive towards her. And he disrespected her parents by snatching things, yelling and screaming and so forth. Now, I'm not saying that what she's claiming is 100% true, but you can see in this guy's demeanor that there is some truth in some of the words that she is saying. And I'm not saying that he ain't got truth in some of the words that he's saying. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play a small little clip of what he's talking about and what she's talking about. All right.
Well, it didn't take long. It only took 2 years, literally to the day, December 27th, for my Filipino wife to become fully Americanized, hate everything about me and what I provide, and decide to leave. Yeah, welcome to the shittiest post that I'm ever gonna make. There's a lot to it, and I'm not gonna go into it, okay? But suffice to say, after providing and going on the Disney World trip, which included the funeral for my mom, I got up to day 6, I think, on that, because it all broke down at Magic Kingdom. Fucking ironic. And I didn't post anything after that, because when we got back from Orlando to St. Simons, Georgia, I was greeted with the announcement from Jayan that she wanted a separation.
I think the word Americanized has nothing to do with someone who is disrespectful, especially to your people. Let's say that your closest people. It's because he disrespected my parents, screaming, snatching some things, verbally and physically. So what I am thinking that time, you are freely disrespecting me and abusing me. I think that's enough. You can do it. You can do it 24/7 to me. You can do it anytime. But to the point that you're gonna be disrespecting my people, especially my parents, I think that's what, draw the line. I think that's when the time that I said I want to separate. It's not because I wanted to separate just because I wanted it. I've dealt a lot with him for the last 2 years that I am here.
Now, if you guys see that, man, you see what I'm talking about, right? All right. Now, my question is why do men go to countries like the Philippines, find impoverished women just to treat them like property? They are people. Now, I don't know both sides of the story, but based on his arrogance, why did you go to the Philippines to find a woman to control and treat less than a human just because you got you some money? Finding a wife should be based on pure intentions of a loving and nurturing bond between two people. And obviously, there's no love in this relationship. There are clear signs that this relationship was just a pure transaction between a young man and between a young woman and an old man. You do what I say, and I'll provide. You do what I say, and I'll provide. It's almost like he bought his wife. It's almost on the same level of human trafficking, in my opinion. If that's the case, I know both parties are old enough to make grown-up decisions. You know what I mean? But another question I got is, why are you gonna air out your house on the internet? Just another question. Let me start by saying this real quick, man. Getting a divorce in any situation is a tough transition, especially when there are kids involved. Because they got kids involved. I've been there myself. I do understand the impact. You know what I'm saying? But when there's kids involved, man, it's worse, man. It's worse, But let's talk about Asian women. We out here with these Asian women as expats. Philippine women don't tolerate losing face. And he made her lose face in front of her parents. He disrespected her parents. He made her parents lose face in front of her. And if you know anything about Filipinos, they want to save face at all costs. You're not going to blatantly disrespect them in public, in any public setting. Because the minute he did that, he lost her. He lost her. Now, she clearly said in her videos, oh, you can do that to me all day. But when it comes to my parents, that's a no-go. Now, see, us expats, we over here talking about we want traditional women. Yeah, that's fine. That's good to have a traditional woman. But let me tell you something about tradition. She got her own set of traditions that she lives by. One of them major traditions is that she going to honor thy mother and thy father. And you stepped on them toes. So you lost her because you disrespected her parents. I truly believe that any man that can't respect a woman's parents, good, bad, or indifferent, in any way, then that relationship is doomed to fail. It's going to fail eventually, especially if the child has a solid bond with her parents. You can't break that bond. That's not breakable. You're supposed to embrace that bond and nurture that bond. So the parents would be more willing to be on your side when crazy stuff happens. Oh, support your husband. But your wife requires you to understand the full extent of her traditional values. And you, sir, Mr. Chad, you failed. All right? She may have been Americanized. I'm not saying that she wasn't. But you have just as much fault as she does, if there's any fault to be given towards anyone. Now, I don't like the fact that children are being pulled on both sides of the situation because they're innocent. And every child deserves to know her father or his father. Every child deserves to know their mothers. All right, so that, for me, I feel more sad for the kids. Now, this guy right here is boastful. Every 5 minutes, he's talking about how big his house is and stuff like that, so you can see the arrogance in his voice. All right? But at the same time, though, man, money should not dictate how you treat somebody. It should not have any value on how you treat somebody. All right? Now, there's a few takeaways that we can take away from this, and I do want to go over them takeaways with you. All right? And the first one is when you're getting married to anybody in this world, understand that it takes two people to love each other for it to work. And I mean truly love each other for good and for bad. When I was growing up, my parents used to always tell me, show your bad side first. Because if they can accept your bad side, then they can accept your good side. And the older I get, the more I understand that. Now, I'm not telling you to go out here and be the bad boy. But don't present everything that's good about you in the beginning. Make people work for that. So that when you decide to build a bond with that person, you got something to stand on because they can accept the bad of you. All right? The next one is if you fear your woman becoming Americanized because you married her in Southeast Asia or whatnot, don't bring her to the States and expect her not to adapt. What is that, man? If you bring your woman to the States from any country, man, she's going to be around her environment. So with her being around her environment, which is America, she's going to get Americanized. What do you expect? So if you don't want her to go through that, Keep her where she at. Now give her a great life where she at, because that's what you're there for, right? But at the end of the day, no, don't put yourself through none of that, man. If that's what you fear, because again, you out here looking for tradition. But you're going to have to respect tradition in its traditional form. Just because these women don't have no money, just because they don't have no money don't mean that they ain't got no thought process, don't mean they don't think, don't mean that they don't feel, it don't mean that they don't have the emotions the same way that everybody else has emotion in this world. You got to treat these women with respect, and that goes into the next one. Money can't buy love. So if you think money controls your relationship, then one day you're going to fail. You're going to deal with whatever comes with the purchasing power of your dollar. Child support, alimony, bills, and more bills. You got to give love to receive love, vice versa. Especially in today's world, look, they're on TikTok. I don't even know these people, and I know more about their relationship than I know about mine. They're on TikTok. That's another one. Keep your business off of TikTok. Keep your business, keep your personal life off the internet. It don't make no sense, because you ain't gonna do nothing but hurt yourself. You ain't gonna do nothing but hurt yourself. You need to learn to lead your relationships with honest intentions, and make sure that the value of your heart is well received before you committing to building a foundation on imploding grounds. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? It makes absolutely no sense. All right? Women of culture stick to their culture. Okay? And part of their culture is honoring their parents. Do not disrespect their parents, or you're gonna lose her. You will lose her, especially in Southeast Asia. Because no matter what, these people honor their parents. Even if their parents was bad to them, they honor their parents. And you're gonna have to see that. You're gonna have to adhere to that. Okay? They don't have that Americanized, I'm mad at my mom and I ain't talking to my mama and my daddy until, or they ain't got that in them. They ain't got that in them. All right? And that goes into the last one, man. You need to learn to put your ego in check. Living with a large ego can be a burden on your own life and your relationship progress. Do not confuse need for wants. There are 3 categories of love in a relationship. 3 categories. You got need, want, and value. When you need a woman, that means she needs to do everything that you can't do and more. When you want a woman, that means that you will do enough to make her stay and deal with whatever you need her to. When you value a woman, it means that you will do whatever it takes for her life to be better, because you're involved in that process of living a better life. Both of you are pushing for a brighter future for each other. So you decide where you put yourself in them categories. Do you need your woman? Do you want your woman? Or do you value her? And I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer to the test. You need to value your woman if you want your woman to really be there for you. You need to value her. And you also need to make sure that she values you. Because guess what? It's not just a give and game. It's give and take. Yes, men, we do need to receive value the same way that we give it. But we can't do it with arrogance. We can't do that with arrogance. Guys, today, please love yourself, man. Love yourself enough to make solid decisions in your relationships. Keep your business off the internet. And most importantly, man, find value in your relationship. If you married, if you got a girlfriend, you got anybody that you with, learn how to find value in that person, so that person can find value in you. Until next time, guys, holla at your boy. Peace out, bro.